Hi everyone. Welcome to today's session, which is on modern maths practice. This session is brought to you by me, Nilanjan Dutta, a 100% dialer from the topmost educators on an academy and an academy plus for the CAT and MBA exams segment. So today's session is a free session where we'll be discussing a number of SimCAT questions from the past for modern maths. So do make sure that all of you are sharing the session link in the next 1-2 minutes so that more and more people can be part of today's discussion session. So please take out a minute or two to share the session link in various CAT preparation groups and forums to be a part of the session. Also, do make sure that all of you are subscribed to the Unacademy channel of mine so that you get instant notifications in the future whenever I'm taking a special class. The link I've shared in the chat will on the right hand side. Also, those of you are wondering about the Unacademy Plus subscription, what you can do is note that the Diala Live classes, the next session is Tuesday, that is tomorrow at 10 p.m. So those of you who have subscribed already, make sure that you're attending this course on Tuesday, tomorrow at 10 p.m. for the next session as part of the DR Live classes in Academy Plus. Those who haven't yet subscribed, make sure they're subscribing before Tuesday, 10 p.m. tomorrow by going to the Academy Plus cash subscription option on unacademy.com/plus. Select the 12-month subscription plan, which is the most useful given that CAT is around 10 months away. Use the discount code Nilanjan Dutta while subscribing to get additional discounts on the Unacademy Plus subscription to reduce the price to even below these prices mentioned here. Remember, there's no space between Nilanjan and Dutta in the discount code. Also, we are starting a quants toppers batch, which is going to start from March mid and will go on all the way till November. It's a complete batch course that is called the Perfect Score batch for CAT 20. So all of you are aiming for a perfect score in CAT 2020, do make sure that being a part of that batch, but I'll be taking the entire quants module. So how do you get the CAT subscription? Here you choose the 12-month subscription option. Here in the referral code section, you enter the code Nilanjan Dutta while subscribing. What it'll do is it'll give you additional discounts when you are subscribing and reduce the subscription price. Although you have any confusion on the subscription or want to attend the future discussion sessions on the SimCAT discussion sessions like today's session, you can ping me at this number to be added to the group wherein you'll be getting regular updates whenever I'm taking a special class or a SimCAT discussion session or any discussion on the plus sessions. So let's get started with the first of today's questions. So ignore the headers. So all these questions are from the IMS SimCAT mocks. So credit to the IMS SimCAT team for granting us permission to discuss the mocks on the Unacademy channel. For every question, for the first 2 minutes, I'll let you guys solve it by yourselves before I activate the poll option using which you guys can provide your answers. So answers, anybody? First question, try solving it by yourself in the next 2 minutes. So I'll make the poll active. Answers. So question is asking what is the probability of a draw. So unfortunately, I'm getting three different set of answers: A, B, D. Everybody else also try and answer each of these questions by yourselves. Good evening, Ronit, Sachin, Replica, Satyam, Prasad, Rahul, Priyanka, Neeraj, Kriti, Aditya, Lipsa, Noti. So I ended up getting multiple answers. So let us see how to go about solving this question. Note, there are three possibilities. Either A wins or B wins or there is a draw. There is no possibility of neither of them winning nor it being a draw. There are no such possibility. It's either A wins or B wins or there is a draw. Now, it says the probability of A not losing is 4 by 5, which means the probability of a win plus a draw is equal to 4 by 5. There's nothing called a draw, which means the probability of a winning plus a draw is equal to 4 by 5. Similarly, the probability of b not losing, that is b win plus a draw, is equal to 2 by 5. So if I add the three, I end up getting the probability of A win plus B win plus draw is equal to 6 by 5. Out of which, what is this? What is this portion? That is A win plus B win plus draw. That is the complete set of possibilities, that is 1, which means the probability of drawing is 6 by 5 minus 1. So that comes out to be 1 by 5. Hence the answer is option A, that is 1 by 5. Note, probability of A not losing is the sum of A winning and there being a draw. Probability of B not losing is B winning and there's a draw, which basically means I'm taking care of all the possibilities. The only thing is draw is being considered twice, which is why I'm getting 6 by 5, which is greater than 1. If I subtract 1 from 6 by 5, I end up getting 1 by 5, which is basically the probability of a draw. Good evening, Abhishek, Ankush, Handavi. 1 is the probability of all three happening. So that is 100%. There are three results possible, right? A winning, B winning, and draw. That is your entire possibilities. So that is 100%. Correct? Whereas this is 80%, this is 40%, which means it's exceeding by 20%. Is it clear to everybody? Any questions? So in the first question, Ronit, the easiest way is simply add the two things. 6 by 5, that is 1/5 more, which is basically the probability of a draw. That is the easiest way. The next one, choose the correct alternative. So which of the values of n definitely doesn't satisfy this inequality? Good evening, Parashnath, Nandini, Gurjeet. All those who are joining in, please share the session link with your friends and fellow aspirants so that they too can be part of today's session. So try solving this question in the next couple of minutes. So there is a strategy course which is running currently. We had the first session last Sunday. So the link to the same I've shared in the chat window on the right hand side. Do make sure that all of you are attending these strategy sessions for CAT 2020. So answers. The poll is active. So Parashnath, just attend the strategy sessions. I've shared the link just above the comment of yours. The strategy session links is there. Just try and attend those sessions and you're good to go. So I got three different answers to this question. So anybody, how do we solve this? Anybody, how do we solve this question? Ronit is saying he solved the inequality and got n greater than 28. The moment you do that, what is happening is, first of all, these are not in straightforward form, which means it's going to be very lengthy approach to go by the inequality method. Now, I have a question for everybody. Can the answer ever be 30 or 35? Can the answer ever be 30 or 35? The answer is never. In not just this question, any question on inequalities, always look at extreme options only. Why? Because in case, let's say, Ronit is saying that n is greater than 28. Had it been a situation where n is greater than 32, then there would have been two options which would have been right. Which is why it can never happen that non-extreme options will be the right answer or a single option to be the right answer. The condition is only extreme options can be correct. So now the question is 25 correct or is 40 correct? Don't waste time in inequalities. Simply look at this number. This number is the product of three numbers, correct? This number is the product of three numbers. Yes or no? This number is the product of three numbers. That is, this is of the form n cube minus n square is greater than 4n square plus 4n. So the larger the value of n comes, this condition will always hold. So the more you increase the value, it will always hold. The only value where it cannot hold is the smallest of the options. Because note, had it held for 25, it would have held for all the other options as well. So the only possibility is for 25, it doesn't hold. After 25, somewhere it starts holding. So simply look at this term. This is of the NQ form, which means mark the smallest answer, leave. Don't waste time solving. The moment you try solving, you'll end up getting different answers. You'll end up wasting time and you're taking up 3-4 minutes to solve a simple 30-second approach question. Simply look at this value. It's order form n cube, which means the more the value of n, the term will always, the left hand side will always be greater. So simply look for the least value of n. That is where it may not satisfy. So simply mark the answer as option A, move on. Note, these are the kind of questions you've been getting in your mocks, in your SimCats. It's all about smartly playing these approaches. Is this clear to everybody? Next question. The question is saying, what are the properties of fruit taken out from box B is an apple? Again, another question which can be solved in 5 seconds. Believe me, these kind of questions that have been coming in your exams can be solved in 5 to 10 seconds. Good evening, Dave, Priyanka, Muhammad Shoaib. Good evening, Rohit. Answers? Is there any difference in the count of apple and oranges? Is there any difference in the count of apple and oranges? No. So what should be the probability of either fruit? Half. There is no difference in the count of apples and oranges. So the probability of either fruit appearing should be equally likely. That is, each should be half. So it says, what are the probability of the fruit from box with an apple? The answer should be half. That's all. It's as simple as that. Any questions? Good evening, Arijit. Next question. M is a set of odd numbers with an even digit in the hundreds place, odd digit in tens and units place. All elements of M are divisible by 3. M contains how many elements that lie between 100 and 400? Again, a question which can be done within 30 seconds. So let's make the poll active. So some are saying C, some are saying D. Arijit is saying B. Interesting. Anybody, how do we solve this? I got three different answers B, C, D. How do we solve this? Anybody? How do we solve this? Any suggestions? Okay, so Ronak is saying the first thing 100th digit is going to be 2. Why? Because between 100 and 400, it means either 1, 2, 3, and it says even digit in the hundreds place. So one thing is for certain 100th digit is 2. Okay. Next, what do we do? Next, what do we do? This is the reason why you'll end up marking wrong answers. Never try by cases. There's always a chance you might miss out on a case, or you might duplicate a case and you might end up with the wrong answer. Do you realize there are five possibilities here? Five possibilities here according to you all. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. That is 25 numbers. And you now want to go and check for how many of the 25 numbers are divisible by 3. Is that the method you are suggesting, Ronit or Arijit? Is this the method you're suggesting? That I go and check which of these 25 numbers are divisible by 3? Huh? Let us see how to go about it. Okay. How many numbers are starting with 2? How many numbers start with 2? 100. 100 numbers start with 2. How many are divisible by 3? 1/3. 33. How many have an odd digit? Half. 16.5. How many have an units odd digit? Again, probability half. 8.25. Mark either 8 or 9 as your answer. Among the options, mark the answer as option C. Anybody? Is there anything wrong with this approach? Is there anything wrong with this approach? Has everybody understood this approach? And note, however complicated the question is, even if they got in some more digits, some more divisibility rules, still, I would have simply just done 1/3, 1/4 as per required, and I would have got the answer. There are 100 numbers which are starting with an even digit. Correct, Satyam? There are 100 numbers which are starting with an even digit. Out of that, divisible by 3 means 1/3 of those numbers. That is 33. Half of 33 numbers will have an odd digit. What is the probability of an odd digit? Probability of an odd digit is half. So I do half for the tens digit and I again do half for the units digit. So the answer is 8.25, which means 8 to 9. Simple. No need for pattern, no need for checking, nothing. Is this approach clear to everybody? It doesn't matter if they're asked m divisible by 4, 5, what type of digit, doesn't matter. I'm simply reducing it and I'm getting the answer. Shoaib, don't give excuses always. Play as per the question. These options are not been designed by me. They have been designed by your mock team. So this is how the options are made. Every question that you think is hit and trial, the examiner is supposed to give you an alternative technique whereby you can answer the question within 2 minutes. So every question which is a normal approach is more than 2 minutes. In the CAT or in any of your mocks, they'll give you an alternative approach which can be done in less than 2 minutes, which is why how the options have been designed. So talking of such approaches, we've recently launched today the Quant Stoppers batch. So in the chat window, I've shared the links. As you can see, the batch is itself called the Perfect Score Batch for CAT 2020. So do make sure that all of you attending every session as part of that batch. The batch course will be running from March till November. It's a batch where only CAT toppers of the previous years will be mentoring you guys. So do make sure all of you attending each and every session as part of this particular batch where all kind of tips and tricks will be shared. It's part of the 12-month Unacademy Plus subscription plan. This itself course will be running for 8 months. So do make sure all of you attending every session as part of this course use the discount code Nilanjan Dutta while subscribing to be a part of this perfect score batch for CAT 2020. Remember, there's no space for Nilanjan and Dutta in the discount code. This is where you go, select the 12-month subscription. In the referral code section, you enter the code Nilanjan Dutta while subscribing to be a part of this batch course. Although, if you have any queries on the Plus subscription, if you want to discuss something, or if you want to be added to this batch after having subscribed to Unacademy Plus, you can share your confirmation screenshot or you can share your queries at this number to get added to the Toppers Perfect Score batch for CAT 2020. The link is there. It's also pinned the link in the chat window. Let's move on. Let's look at a theta question. How many natural numbers from 1 to 2000 have none of their digits repeated? It's an 8-month course, so obviously it will be right from the beginning. And it's not just a quants course, Dave, it's an all subjects course. We'll have VRC, DILR, quants. It's all part of the same course. And it'll be starting right from the basic. It's an 8 months course. So from March till November, it will go on, okay? You can check the schedule here and do make sure you're subscribing as soon as possible in case you haven't already subscribed. So there is the next Diala session. Dave is tomorrow at 10 p.m. So before that, try and subscribe. Use the code Nilanjan Dutta while subscribing. There's no space for Nilanjan Dutta in the discount code. So for this question, I would request everybody to use the chat window to provide their answers within the theta question. So I'll not make the poll active for this particular question. Please use the chat window to provide your answers, whoever's done with this question. See, theta questions are always more tricky because you miss one scenario and you'll have no idea you missed it because there's no options. So it's always better to attempt MCQ questions first before going into theta questions. Others? Anybody else answers? So first let's start with one digit numbers. How many one digit numbers are possible? 9. That is 1 to 9. So all of them have no digit repetitions involved. Next, let's move on to two digit numbers. In two digit numbers, the first digit can be selected in any 9 ways, that is, any digit except for 0. The second digit can also be selected in 9 ways, that is, any digit including 0 but excluding whatever digit has come in the first digit position. So there are 81 possibilities for two digit numbers. Three digit numbers, how many possible? First digit can be done in 9 ways, that is excluding 0. Second digit can be done again in 9 ways, that is excluding the first digit. Third one can be done in 8 ways, that is 648 ways. Is this correct? What about four digit numbers? For four digit numbers, the starting digit has to be 1. Why? Because it is less than 2000. So the starting digit has to be 1. So for the second digit onwards, the number of options is 9 into 8 into 7. Why? Because you cannot have 1 anymore. And for every subsequent digit, you cannot have the previous digit either as well. So what is 9 into 8 into 7? 504. So now if I add this, I end up getting 1152 plus 90. 1152 plus 90, that is 1242 is the answer. Is this clear to everybody? It is up to 2000, no? So that means only up to basically 1999. So four digit means 1000 to 109999. What is the confusion on it? 2000 anyways has three zeros here. There's rigid repetitions clearly. 2000 anyways has three zeros. So 2002 will not be counted. So basically you're saying first digit is always going to be 1. Is this clear to everybody? 1242. Let's move on to the next question. Again, a question which can be done within 30 seconds. Answers. So I see two different options where people are showing interest, B and C. First thing, how many students are there in the class? 10 students. So all our distribution formulas are around the concept of CR minus 1. Yes or no? All our formulas across distribution, whether it is n plus r minus 1, CR minus 1, whether it is n minus 1, CR minus 1, all of them are of the form CR minus 1. Yes or no? Why? Because if you allocate marks to 9 students, you automatically allocate to the 10th student. So first thing, the moment you see 10 students, you should be looking at which option is of the form C9. That is the first job. Even if you cannot solve the question, first thing you do is look at which option is of the form C9. And the moment you do that, you can eliminate two options, which means you give yourself a 50-50 chance. So at least do this much in modern maths. And this is holding for every question. Is it clear why we eliminated C and D? Now, if you cannot solve, I saw very few people answering the poll. If you cannot solve, it's fine, but at least mark an answer amongst A and B because you've been able to narrow down to two options. Now, one has scored 70, 9 people have scored 30. So, what is 9 into 30 plus 70? That is 340, where the total marks is 360, which means I have additional 20 marks to play with. So I have 10 students to play with, A to J, and I have additional 20 marks to play with, which I can distribute among these 10 students. So what is the formula? N plus R minus 1 C R minus 1. Here N is equal to 20, R is equal to 10. So N plus R minus 1 is 29, C R minus 1 is 9. So it is 29 C9, which means option A is the answer. Is this clear? Simply look at what is the extra portion. That is 340 is already dictated. 20 is left. So N is 20. R is 10. At least eliminate C and D on the grounds that it's a CR minus 1 form. And that holds for every formula of distribution. So the idea is make your mock questions easier for you. So once again, thanks to the IMS team for granting us permission to discuss their IMS SimCats on the Unacademy special classes. So all those who want to attend future special classes, make sure that you are getting yourself added to the group by pinging me at this number to be a part of all future special classes so you get notifications and so on. Next one. So this is on set theory. Good evening, Vibhu. ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে রেখে যাও রেখে যাও রেখে যাও রেখে যাও Good evening, Ravindra. To try solving this question. Good evening, Shailaja. So try solving this question on modern maths. Answers. The poll is active. So I'm getting divided between B and C. So first thing, 24 people own houses in Pune and 13 people own houses in exactly 2 cities. The question is saying how many own houses in all the 3 cities. So Pune 24, Nashik 24, Aurangabad 35. What is the total count? 83. The total count is 83. Correct? How many people are there? 52. So the difference is 31. Can anybody tell me why this difference is there, 31? Why this difference of 31 is there? Because people are owning multiple houses in, or rather houses in multiple cities. The reason why the difference is there 31 is because people are owning houses in multiple cities. Now, there are 13 people who are owning houses in exactly two cities, which means they are getting double counted exactly once. If you're having houses in only one city, you're getting counted once. If you're having houses in two cities, you're getting double counted once, which means you're getting extra counted once. So basically, out of this 31, the double counting of 13 is happening because of this category where there are 13 people having exactly two cities. So that is why there's a double counting of 13 happening. What is the other source of double counting? The other source of double counting is those people who are having houses in three cities. Everybody who has houses in three cities is getting counted twice. So if there are n such people, they are getting counted twice, and the total is 31. So if this is 13, this is 18. So n into 2 is 18, which means n is 9. So these 9 people are having two extra counts that are generating a count, extra count of 18, whereas 13 people are having two cities, which means they're generating an extra count of 13, which is accounting for a total extra count of 31 over and above the original 52 people that are there, which is why the total count for all people together is 83. So the answer is 9. Is this clear to everybody? Good evening, Sumit. Next question. Again, a question which can be answered in less than 30 seconds. Tomorrow, 10 p.m., we have the Diala live classes. So do make sure that all of you are subscribing before 10 p.m. tomorrow because the next session as part of the Diala live classes. Also, today we've launched the Perfect Score batch for CAT 20. It will be an 8-month long course. So do make sure that all of you are enrolling for the same. Both these courses have been shared in the chat window on the right hand side. So the question is saying you're selecting three numbers at random. What are the problems that three numbers are not in GP? Tell me that if I just take randomly, if I just write any numbers and all, just randomly 4, 8, 9, whatever, isn't it very unlikely I'll get numbers in GP? Isn't it very unlikely if I write numbers at random that I'll get numbers in GP? Isn't that very unlikely? Yes or no? Which means the probability that the numbers are not in GP should be a very high probability. Correct? Whatever be the sample set, the probability that the numbers are not in GP should be very high. So can you look at the options and tell me which probability is very high? That's it. Forget the question. Mark the right answer, leave. And that is what it's supposed to do in probability questions. Just get an estimate of whether the probability is going to be high or medium or low. Mark the answer. In fact, if you look at them intentionally, they have planted an option called 3 by 28, which is the complement of 25 by 28. So just be careful. They are giving you additional hints in by doing so. Simply see probability is going to be very high. Look at the options, mark the answer, and leave. Intentionally, if the answer is 25 by 28, they'll keep another option 3 by 28, and so on. Just to ensure that somebody makes a mistake in the last step of not doing the not part, and by calculating the probability the numbers are in GP and marks 3 by 28 and so on. Ping me at this number. I'll add you to the group. Akshay. Do make sure for the next special class onwards you're attending on time because you'll be notified in advance. Is this approach clear to everybody? Why 25 by 28? So more on such approaches for both quants and DLR. For DLR, batch 1 is already going on, the classes. The link I've shared in the chat window on the right hand side. Do make sure that all of you are attending tomorrow session at 10 p.m. Also, along with this, you have access to the new course that has been launched. That is the Toppers Batch, which is the perfect score batch for CAT 2020. The link I've shared again in the chat window on the right hand side. Do make sure that you're enrolled and you're attending every session as part of both these courses. This course is particularly designed, it's a combined course for all the three sections to give yourself a perfect score in CAT 2020. And hence the sessions have been taken by 100 percentilers and so on. It's part of the Unacademy Plus CAT subscription. Just be subscribed for a 12-month subscription plan, but do it before tomorrow's 10 p.m. class. And given that this course is going to run for 8 months, it's important that all of you subscribe for a 12-month subscription plan. Use the discount code Nilanjan Dutta while subscribing. There's no space for Nilanjan and Dutta in the code to get yourself access to this Unacademy Plus CAT subscription. Once you subscribe, you can share the confirmation screenshot with me so I can add you to these respective courses. So immediately before tomorrow 10 p.m., subscribe using the discount code Nilanjan Dutta subscribing. How do you get a discount? Select a subscription plan, and then in the referral code section, you enter the code Nilanjan Dutta, and a space in Nilanjan Dutta in the code. Click on apply. You'll see apply successfully, and then you can check out. So hope to see all of you in the classes at tomorrow at 10 p.m. For all those who want to be part of these special classes, going forward, just ping me at this number. The rest of you are subscribed already. Make sure that you are attending the plus classes. And if you're planning to subscribe tonight, then make sure that you share the screenshot with me so I can add you to the respective courses. On that note, thank you everybody and happy learning.